So this is Argos. He has no leash walking skills, so this should be a pretty realistic demo of how to get a dog first started on a leash. Typically, when I have them in a heel, I would have them sit, but he's a greyhound and his body doesn't really do that, so I'm going to allow him to stand in his heel instead. Once you've got them into a heel, you're going to take a lure, so something tasty, put it right in front of their mouth. They can lick at it, but don't let them have the whole thing. We want them to get enough out of it that they stay on it, so it's a piece of hot dog, and he's licking at it, it's enough to keep him interested. And I'm going to use this to take one step and lure him to take one step with me. If he stays parallel, I'm going to give him that lure. We're going to try again. I'm going to take another lure, this time it's a bunch of ham. I'm going to let him lick at it, and I'm going to take 2 steps. If he stayed parallel, I'm going to give him that lure. All right, let's head back this way. This time we're going to do 3 steps. So with that lure right in front of his face, 1, 2, 3. If he stays parallel, he gets the lure. All right, so now we're going to start taking the lure away. And this is going to be determined by your dog. Right now what we've done is shown that he understands that if he stays next to me, he gets the lure. Now we're going to start taking the lure away and figuring out how long can the lure disappear before he stops staying parallel to me. So I'm going to take a bunch of those tasty treats, put them right in front of his face, and I'm going to start stepping forward. And as I step forward, I'm going to take the lure away and immediately put it back before he gets away from me. So if when you take the lure away, your dog suddenly, I'm going to throw that to make him go. If your dog suddenly goes away from you and they're no longer parallel, you took the lure away for too long. So now this time, get back into that heel. So this time I'm going to take the lure, we're going to step forward, I'm going to take it away and keep walking, and he doesn't want to move. So I guess he's not ready to take the lure away that long. So I'm going to take the lure back to him, let him go forward, and take it away for just a second, and then put it back and let him have it. I'm going to try that again. Typically when you do this, you have dogs that move too much, and he's kind of a dog that doesn't want to move at all. So we're going to try that again. You use the lure, start moving with the lure. I'm going to take the lure away, see if I can get him to come with me. Yes, and because he moved a little bit, I'm going to put that lure back and let him have a piece. All right, let's try that again. Move forward. So he moves forward. If I have the lure, I'm going to take the lure away just a little bit. Yes. And because he stayed walking forward, I'm going to put that lure back and give him a piece. So what you want to do is figure out how long you can take that lure away and have your dog stay parallel to you. If you take that lure away and they suddenly are going that way, you took it away for too long. And when you take that lure away, try not to dangle it over their head, because then they're going to start jumping upwards. So when you take it away, try to put it up by your shoulder, or at least up by your belly, so that it's not right over their head. That's going to make it way too tempting if we just dangle the lure over them. So let's try that again. Lure. Letting him eat a piece, letting him eat. And take it away. And I'm going to gradually get it closer. Yes, there we go. So I got it close enough to him that he chose to move more, but not close enough that he had any chance to eat it. So I want to gradually get rid of the lure. I don't want to have to carry a bag full of ham for the rest of his life. So instead of having the lure completely in his face, letting him eat a ton every second, if I have to have it 3 inches in front of his face and he follows my hand, that's a little bit better. That hand will eventually become an empty hand, and then it will become every once in a while giving a lure and not having to have the hand there at all. And if your dog gets out in front of you, which is most likely what will happen once the lure goes away, if it's gone for too long, they'll typically go out in front of you. So if they go out in front of you, get that lure back in their face and use it to bring them back into a heel. Yes. And with this, we typically don't use the clicker when we're teaching loose leash walking because it's too many things to hold. Between the dog and the leash and the treat bag, the clicker is just too many things. So you can use your voice instead and use a marker word. So I typically use yes and try to say it in an upbeat and positive way, and your dog will start to understand that that is what's marking the correct behavior. So let's try this one more time. Lots of treats, and then I'm going to take it away. Yes, and he moved up to it, so I'm going to let him have a piece. Good job.